Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 112. This one we're covering episodes 23 to 26. The first was a bit of an ocean episode where it focuses on a little girl a lot of the time, along with Red One. Yeah, they're kind of the focus of this episode, mostly put over a diamond over at Piranha, trying to get this thing to work. It's an odd episode per se, but probably one of the weirdest things happen in this episode is seeing mannequins come alive. I'm thinking that when I saw this scene, I'm like, what? Can they just basically borrow the techniques that the BBC used to bring forth the Autons? Because this is just basically like live action actors, and then basically when these characters hit, they turn back to mannequins. I'm surprised the guys didn't try to strip away, them do anything to the mannequins themselves. I don't know. It's by far one of the most weirdest things related to this episode. And there's various illusions in this one. Yeah, they love using illusions. Yes. It's by far one of the weirdest episodes I've seen. Now, in the case of 24, yeah, that was an okay episode per se. Just, though, one thing, fun fact with this one is that this episode, the day's episode aired, is when the actor who plays Deca Green from Deca Range was born. Yep. Now, in the case of episode 24, which is a Green 2 episode, it's all about exploding plants. Yes, thing starts off with a little boy witnessing at night, basically the monster of the episode, the mecha, which is called Poison Moth. Yes, a poison moth. It proceeds to create plants that explodes. At one point, just by sheer coincidence, of course, you have Ferrocactus at this garden. And of course, Green 2 is here, gets accidentally trampled some flowers. He would be very apologetic about it, takes one of the flowers back to Biobase to be regrown. And then he finds, oh crap, basically these plants are basically exploding, and he just remembered, oh crap, I took one to the biobase. So he races, and of course, the biobase is going to explode. And from the other perspective, I was like, cool, we're going to stop Green 2 from getting there. They try to, eventually, of course, they try to contact Peebo about it. Of course, he's distracted. Eventually, he does answer the phone, like, oh crap, things is what he races out. And thing does explode, but the biobase is perfectly fine. It's another okay episode per se, aside from the fact we have the biobase in danger. It's an episode of the week. Yeah, you can kind of think of it as a filler episode. Yep. Now, next came basically the Bio movie, which I'm not going to talk about right now because I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch that when I get back to watching Super Sentai when I finish the air, so I'm going to do. Now, in the case of 25 and 26, it's a two-parter where it has the debut of the real son of Dr. Man. Yes. His name is Seichi Kanema. Yes. And we do find out in this two-parter that Dr. Man's real name is Dr. Hito Kanema, who is a guy who is a genius, supposedly a genius anyways, who became Dr. Man thanks to various experiments he did to his own brain. He wanted to expand the mental capacity of his brain over the course of a month. This, of course, in the videotape is shown later. Now, of course, Dr. Man does meet his son first time in person. Now, the thing is, he has not seen his son since he was a baby. Not since he was born. And according to his estranged wife, he apparently started experimenting on himself not long after the birth of his son. Yeah, not long after his son was born, he started to experiment on himself just to expand his mind. And eventually, thanks to his experiments, he started growing old, becoming basically what we see Dr. Man as today. And according to Seiichi, he says, oh yeah, I run into him before, of course, so that's Dr. Man. And this is also kind of the first time that the Rangers themselves have seen an image of Dr. Man. Mainly because of the fact they've never actually seen him before. Nope. They never have. They know of Dr. Man. They've never met him before. Nope, never have. So they proceed to basically, of course, Mason, who's there witnessing this because he's ordered by Dr. Man to bring in his son. Try to make him his right-hand man, make a new prince. Because last one was imposter. This one's the actual one. So, yeah, after, and of course, seeing there's an old videotape. Despite the fact this came out in the 80s, it's implied Bioman might be set in the future. Because they said the city that was set in was a place called Techno City. Yes, so it is distinctly possible that Bioman is set in the future. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you were talking with us. I figured you were doing a stream.
I'm doing a video. Yeah, as for when in the world this is set, not really sure actually. It's kind of weird. Of course, after this two-parter, Shuichi would come back again toward the end of the run. Basically, he would come back at episode 43. Yep, that's when he'll come back, alright. As for his mother, who does make an appearance in this episode via image, per se, she appears one more time in the final episode, and that's it for her. Yeah. Yeah, it's by far one of the most interesting two-parters I've ever seen. Yeah, exploring the main villain's backstory. Yep. Now let me take a look here. Like, I believe they said this is set in a Techno City. Because I think it was like Techno City. Oh, it's Techtopia 21. So it is very heavily implied. This is not, even though this came out in the 80s, this is clearly set in the future. Yeah. One thing I have noticed, though, about Bioman is that we have so many similarities to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Basically set in a sort of a modernist-style city, obviously. Having a base in a location not that far from the city. Like, that sounds like basically the command center from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And my guess is Helmut Mod must have taken heavy inspiration for Bioman for the stuff he did for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's possible to say the least. Though, look at the interior of the base. No, he did not take the inspiration. He took the idea of the base being a location not that far from the city that the show was set in. He probably took that from this show. Yep. Yes. This is definitely by far like a really good two-parter. And in the case of basically what this two-parter is established, it does have something probably explore a little bit later, but we'll probably get a lot more original stuff. Oh, well, filler. Because 33 and 22 and 23, excuse me, it seems as though the last few episodes seem like filler. With a little bit of continuity here. Yes, that's one thing I've noticed though about sometimes basically Sentai are so stretched out because we gotta throw in some filler. Yeah, random story of the week. Yep. Now, I'm not going to do another Super Sentai video for a little while. Do I think it'll take 2 months again for the next one? I don't know. It's possible to say at least. When in the world do I think basically it'll come up with a win? I'm not really sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Probably, I'm doing another anime. I'm going to read it soon. So, yeah. So that's going to be pretty much it for this particular review. Stay tuned later on for my review for Made for Parts if I get time to. If not, I'll probably do it tomorrow. Okay, next video. Bye.